Coach, man, thank you so much. This has been a great opportunity, not only for me to learn more football, but it's really been great for all the coaches throughout the state of North Carolina and even across the whole United States. And you know, I was a young 21-year-old coach who didn't know a whole lot of football, and I'm humble enough to say I didn't know a whole lot. And over the course of 8 years, I've been around some tremendous head coaches and some tremendous people, and they've all helped me develop my philosophy of football and what I believe. And I really thank God for every single experience I've ever had, because without those experiences, I don't believe I would be where I am today. Before I get started, I'd first like to thank some people for being mentors in my life. I'd first like to thank God and Jesus Christ for giving me the opportunity to wake up this morning and get another day to make a masterpiece out of life. I'd like to thank Coach Richard Bailey and Coach Keith Wood collectively. Prior to coaching at Scotland County, I didn't know very much about quick game. I was one of those offensive coordinators that trying to throw post wheel against cover four and just didn't really have a clue. And those two really helped me develop a philosophy of quick game. And I'd also like to thank one of my best friends, Ryan Giggy. He was a former assistant at Pinecrest. He's now the offensive coordinator at North Moore. He's the very best wide receivers coach I've ever been around, and he's taught me a lot of little things as far as fundamentals that can go into making a wide receiver great and help me further develop my system of football. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started today. What I'm gonna go over is quick game and spread offense. Now, like I said just a while ago, prior to getting to Scotland, I didn't know anything about quick game. And, I go back and look at my days as the offensive coordinator at Fairmont when I had a quarterback that threw for over 3,500 yards both years. And I look at the type of athletes that I was blessed to coach. And, I just reflect every day and go, man, if I just known how to throw a quick hitch, or man, if I just known how to teach a slant, or man, if I'd known how to teach a quick out, with the talent I had, there's no telling what we could have done. And it's also taught me too that, no matter what defense a person lines up in, you got an answer. So I'll go ahead and get started. So quick game for me, this is, you can read in quick game, but quick game to me is when the quarterback is catching the football and he's getting rid of it as fast as he can. He's kind of looking off one defender to throw the ball in an area. So, I want to go over why quick game. What's the purpose of quick game? For me, I believe it gives you an ability to exploit a defense's weaknesses. If you play a cover three or a quarters team and they're putting that corner 2 yards inside, 8 yards back, you got to be able to take the hitch they're giving you. You got to be able to take the speed out they're giving you. If their linebackers are overly aggressive and they're trying to cover that flat area instead of dropping in the curl zone, you got to be able to throw slants. But more than that, I believe that quick game allows for both your quarterbacks and your receivers to gain confidence. I had a quarterback this year. His name was Roy Board. Great kid, great student. His junior year, he was his passing percentage was his pass completion percentage was 28%, and this senior year he was at 60% before we had a really rough game at West Brunswick to end the season and ended up throwing 56%. But I think any high school coach would agree that anytime you got a quarterback that's near 60% completion rate, that's pretty doggone good. Quick game gives you the ability on offense to throw a ball 5 yards, and if you got a good enough athlete catching it, he can turn it into a touchdown. And I'll say this too, guys. And if you ever go to interview for a head football job, this is really important to say. If you run a spread offense, you're able to create buy-in with your receivers, with your running backs, and your quarterbacks, because they know on any given play they got an opportunity to touch that football. And guys, even me, I preach to never be selfish, to be a selfless player, to be a team first player. But at the end of the night, these kids have got to know that there's something in it for them. I mean, every kid wants to have their name in a newspaper on Saturday after a big night. And I really believe our offense gives multiple players the opportunity to touch the ball and get in space and go show how much of an athlete they are. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. Quarterback footwork in the quick game. And I got to give Coach Wood, he's now offense coordinator at West Brunswick. He was a long-time offense coordinator at Scotland County and, had a stop as a head coach at Fairmont and was the OC at Higher. This is what he taught me when I got to Scotland. With me being the running backs coach at Scotland, I got to spend time with Coach Wood every day when we worked on quick game and concepts. And, Coach Wood always told our quarterbacks, right foot back, open hip ball. And so, what Coach Wood and now what I do, we always had our quarterback have their right foot slightly above the left, no matter whether we were throwing right or left. That way we wouldn't give away a tendency. And our quarterbacks would catch that football, drop their right foot, open their hip, and ball. And that more strongly relates to throwing the football to the right. If you're throwing the football left, the right foot comes back, and you're kind of working your hips like you're turning a double play in baseball to throw the ball back left. And when I start showing film here in a little bit, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. But if you're one of those coaches out there that you've never really been able to coach quick game that well, it's important to tell you on day one that, your quarterback can't focus on trying to gather the laces when he catches the football. He's got to kind of grab it where he grabs it, and he's got to get rid of it because, against a well-coached team, when those corners and those outside linebackers see that quarterback's hand separate, they're going to rally and get to the football. All right. And then just every day, you got to tell your quarterback, you got to get the ball out right now. Got to get it out right now. I mean, and that's literally what I stand behind our quarterbacks and say, right foot back, open hip ball. And the ball's got to be gone that quick. All right. So, and it's also important to tell your quarterbacks this. I'm going to show you some film where we ran bubble slant concepts several times, or slant swing concept, anything that sort of picks on a flat defender. And, you got to really teach your quarterback how to use his eyes to manipulate defenders. If you're wanting to throw that football through the slant window, you got to really look off that flat defender. You got to make that flat defender think that you're throwing the ball to the flat right now, whether it be a shoot route or a bubble route or, whatever you guys call it. You got to look that route off and then open your hips back up and throw that ball in the window. And there's some great examples of that when I show you film. All good stuff. So, the first route I'm going to show you today, once we go over film, is the hitch route. Very, very important on a hitch route that you teach your receivers. They got to take 3 big steps, all right, and that's kind of going to help them get to 4 or 5 yards. And then they got to take 2 small steps, and they got to turn around and settle down and face the quarterback. Now, our guys didn't always do a great job of this year, but when we did, it made a difference. And our quarterback, our receivers, they got to give the quarterback a target. All right. As soon as they settle down, they got to give that quarterback a target. And, I'll say this, and there's some great examples of this on the film I'm going to show you. Anytime you throw a hitch route, you got to tell your quarterback to throw that ball towards his outside shoulder, because, a lot of teams out there play cover 3, and, that curl flat defender is always buzzing to get out there, especially if there's not a threat by 2. And, it can get knocked down. It can get picked off. But if you throw that ball on the outside shoulder, it's either going to be a completion or an incompletion, and you'll rarely turn the ball over. It's also important to point out that on the hitch route, that, once that receiver catches the football, he's got to go outside. All right. He's got to pivot off that outside foot, and he's got to try to get to the sideline, or out of bounds. And it's a simple point, guys. You don't want to run into bad guys. All right. And I tell our guys that every day. Don't run yourself back into bad guys. Catch the football, outside pivot, get vertical. All right. And I have a little saying, get 5 yards for Union Pines, and whatever you get after that is for you. All right, the next route I'm going to show you an example of is the speed out. You know, whether we're running the speed out with a single receiver or we're running it with the slot receiver, you know, the way we're teaching it is exactly the same. You know, we want to arc release, which means you want to get a little bit of width on your release, get hard vertical for 2 steps, and then use that 3rd, 4th, and 5th step to round flat at 5 yards. You know, and I'll tell you this, you know, I told Jacob Bobles and I told Archie Chandler and our receivers this year, I said, man, if you can round that thing to 6 and we still complete it, man, I don't mind, you know, taking an extra yard from them. But, you know, always round that thing at 5. All right. The next one is the slant route. All right. Now coaches teach the slant route all different ways, but this is the way that's worked for me. We teach our receivers the diamond release, which also means kind of arc release. You want that corner to think that you're trying to get a mandatory outside release, which a lot of coaches refer to as a more. All right. And what we tell them is you want to get outside for 3, 5, or 7 steps. All right. And on the step right before you go inside, you want to head nod opposite of where you're going. So in this case, since we're slanting back inside, we want to head nod opposite, and then we want to rip across the defender's face so that we can get into that curl flat window. All right. And the big coaching point here is that as soon as our receiver breaks back towards the inside of the field, they got to look for the football immediately before they run themselves back into that hook curl defender, which is, you know, normally the 2 inside linebackers in a cover 3. All right. So I've covered all of them. And now I'm going to go to the film. You know, guys, I've always been this way. You know, I don't want to tell you my philosophy of football. I don't want to tell you how to run routes. You know, if I'm going to tell you how to do something, I want to show you how we do it. You know, nothing is good to me without showing me film. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Coach Grandinetti, can you still see my screen?
No, you gotta do a new share.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm still learning about this technology, man.
You're good, bro.
Let's see, Zoom. I'm trying to figure this thing out.
So best way to do it is just stop the share. Stop the share,
All
and then just once you do a new share, just click choose the huddle.
I got you. Let's see. So I'm trying to figure this thing out.
So when you hit share screen, there should be a couple options, and one of them should be your huddle window.
There you go. There we go. Right here.
Yep, you're good.
All right, and guys, you know, after this clinic is over, if you want the PowerPoint presentation I did or you want the video, just email me. I'll give you that contact information, and I'll get that to you. So just in the order of the PowerPoint, I want to show you some examples of what we do. Right here, this is the last game of the season. We're playing Western Hornet right here. Western Hornet was a 4-3 cover 4 team. And so, you know, anytime a team's in a cover 4 look, they're just trying not to get beat deep. So as an offensive coach, you know, you've got to take what they're giving you. And right here, clearly at the bottom of the screen, they're giving us the hitch. We're going to take it. Now, Coach, can you see my cursor right here?
Yep.
All right. Guys, pay close attention to this. You know, everything I've already told you in the PowerPoint. I want you to watch my quarterback. That right foot's going to drop. All right. He's going to open his hip, and he's going to turn and throw this football immediately. Jacob Bobles down here, number 19. He had over 1,000 yards receiving this year. He's going to get big 3, too small, turn around, face the quarterback, does a great job of catching it, pivoting outside. He's going to make this corner miss from Western Hornet, and he's going to go score a touchdown. Right foot back, boom, get rid of it right now. All right, and that's just a great job right there of him settling down. 3 big, 2 small, great quarterback footwork. All right, and we're getting the ball out right now. You know, if you want to play cover 4, we're going to throw hitch. Catch it, outside release, go score a touchdown. You know, he got 5 for Union Pines. You got 20 more for him. All right, right here, this is against Harnett Central. This is a team that could have easily won our conference. I know that Lee County played for a state championship, but they were leading Lee County at half. You know, we had to return a fumble to beat them, and they lost to Southern Lee in the final second. So this is a good football team this year, a much improved football team. And, you know, right here, they're giving us the hitch down here at the bottom of the screen. You know, if a team's going to give it to you, you got to take it. Great job here by Rory, our quarterback, right foot back, open hip ball. And that ball's coming out right now. Ahmad does a great job right here settling down, giving Rory a target. He catches it, gets outside, picks up a couple of extra yards. All right. Early on right here, this is against Northmore. You can see down here at the bottom of the screen, their corner is back at about 8 yards. All right. There was really no threat down here at the bottom of the screen to pick that ball off with a buzz defender. We got to throw hits right now. Got to take it. You know, again, great job right here. Right foot back, open hip ball. Get rid of it. Bang. Throw it outside shoulder. Got a chance to turn it into some extra yardage. All right. This right here is early in the season when we were a true 2-back triple option team. We're playing Montgomery Central right here. They were a 4-4 cover 3 team. But, you know, like I said, guys, you know, when I was at Fairmont, I was that offensive coordinator that was throwing post wheel against cover 4, and any decent football coach knows that, you know, cover 4 takes those routes away. You know, if that young 24-year-old Coach Cox knows to throw hitch in that situation, you know, we put ourselves in a better position to be successful. Right here against Montgomery Central, 4-4 cover 3. All right, they're giving you hitch. You got to take it. Roy does a great job right here. Right foot back, open hip, ball, bang, catch it. We take 6 or 7. All right, coming back here to Northmore. All right, they still have it adjusted. They're keeping that corner back. You guys, let me tell you this. You know, there are teams that are going to play you in cover 3 or cover 4 the whole game. And what that defensive coordinator is hoping is that you're not patient enough as a play caller to keep throwing hitch. All right. You know, offensive coordinators, they get impatient. They want to start throwing deep. They want to start doing creative things. All right. You know, if you want to be a smart football coach, how about keep taking what the defense is giving you? If that corner is going to stand back at 8 or 9 yards, you need to throw hitch. I mean, you know, I'm just a firm believer, you know, and I say this jokingly because it really gets our kids to buy in. But I always tell our kids, man, you know, if that pretty girl is going to let you kiss her, son, you need to kiss her, because there might not be too many more pretty girls that are going to let you kiss her like that. So, you know, kiss her, take it. You know, that's my philosophy of football. They're going to stand back at 8 yards, throw hitch. Right here again, open hip, ball, boom. All right, and we move the chains right there. All right, so now moving on to slants. All right, remember, you know, we want a dime and release. We want to get width on the release. When we get to 3, 5, or 7 yards, we want to head out opposite of where we're going and slant back into the middle of the field. All right. This first slant route right here. So let me say this, guys, and I'm not trying to get in the scheme too much. You know, I've always been an option RPO type guy. You know, and anytime you're running triple option or any system, you got to know who's responsible for who. You've got to know what the defensive coordinator is assigning their kids. And in this situation, you know, we've been running triple. The end is taking dive. All right. The place out inside linebacker is going to scrape to take quarterback. And they're taking that outside linebacker right there, and they're running him straight to pitch. All right. But in terms of their coverage responsibilities, that outside linebacker right there in a cover 3 is also responsible for curl back to flat. Now most defense coordinators out there are going to say, you know, take the slant away first. But, you know, in an option type offense, you know, you also have to have a guy that's running straight to pitch, because if you don't, and that football gets pitched out there, you know, we're on the perimeter right now. So, you know, Montgomery Central, a very well coached team. Coach Benji Brown has done a tremendous job. Coach Allen Brown, you know, they haven't won 7 state championships, you know, because anytime somebody wins 7 state championships, they know what's going on. But, I mean, again, guys, like I said earlier, you know, they're trying to play they're giving their guys responsibilities, and you got to use their rules against them. So right here, That outside linebacker is going to run straight to pitch. All right, he's going to vacate the slant window. Boom, we throw it in there right now. We're taking what the defense is giving us. All right, this right here, this is against Northmore. We noticed that they were in a cover 3 type look. All right, and we got this outside linebacker in a bind right here. All right, he can't cover the curl flat window. All right, and take running back. Well, and some coaches will say, well, yes, he can, coach. He's got to drop curl and then drive back to flat, rally to that swing route. But in this situation right here, our quarterback's going to catch this ball. He's going to look at the swing route. This guy's going to take swing away. It's going to open up the slant window back in here. Again, just take what the defense is giving you. Right foot back, open hip, boom. Throw the ball in the slant window. Take what the defense is giving you. This right here is against Southern Lee. Traditionally been one of the most successful teams in the Tri-County 6 Conference and in the Sand Hills region. They've had several 8-win seasons. And they always have a lot of great athletes. Southern Lee's in a 4-4 right here. And I'll say this, guys. Anytime you're in 2x2 or you've got a tight end, single receiver, and twins to the opposite side, you can run what's called mirror concepts. And that just simply means that you're running the same concept on both sides. Now, I wasn't a big fan right here that Rory didn't choose to throw this ball to the field because there's so much grass right here. If this curl flat defender runs to take Bubble away, I mean, just look at all this grass we could have thrown slant back into. But, our quarterback makes a good decision. He decides to manipulate 15 right here from Southern Lee, their outside linebacker. We're going to throw that slant back in the window. And again, watch him. Right foot back, open hip, boom, throw it in the window. All right. And guys, my philosophy of football is, it's basketball on grass. Get an athlete to football, let him go be an athlete in space right now. All right. Like I said, that creates all kind of buy-in, because if your kids know that they got a chance to touch football, they're going to play hard. Bottom line. All right. Like I said, I teach our kids to be selfless every day and to be team first players. But, I played football too, man. And, even though my coach told me I was responsible for A-gap because I was nose guard, and, every once in a while I wanted to make a tackle and hear my name called over the intercom. So, it's no different with these kids, guys, and you got to find a way to get them to buy in. Same concept right here. Southern Lee's 4-4, cover 3. All right, we're manipulating this outside linebacker. All right, we're going to catch this thing, look at the bubble. We're going to throw the slant back in the window. Right foot back, open hip, ball. Bang, take it. All right, catch that thing. Get the first down. All right. This is against St. Paul's right here. One of the most talented 2A teams in the state of North Carolina. Coach Setzer and his staff does a tremendous job. Had a very good season this year. Same thing that Montgomery Central did. All right. Now, I believe St. Paul's is more in a man-free look here. I think their corners are more manned up on the outside receivers, and their safety's free to insert into the run fit. But still, St. Paul's has assigned 25 to run the pitch. He's going to vacate the slant window. All right, my offense coordinator, Coach Blagg up top, he's telling me right now, Coach, take the slant window to run a 25 to pitch. We make a play call, ball down, throw it in the window. Take what the defense is giving you, guys. Take it, take it, take it. And, a great offensive coordinator doesn't have to call 20 different versions and try to look sexy, okay? I think a lot of offensive coaches out there want to be sexy. They want somebody to think they're smart. Well, let me tell you how to be a smart football coach, guys. Take what a defense is giving you and give your ball players the football. That's how you're going to be a great football coach. You ain't got to be able to stand up there on the whiteboard and draw anything creative for somebody to think you're smart, all right? Throw your best athletes the football and let them go be an athlete. And number 2, take what the defense is giving you. If they're going to give you hitch, take it. If their outside linebacker is responsible for pitch, when he vacates to go run the pitch, throw the slant. I mean, guys, just take what people are giving you. I mean, again, I think that 2 plays later, we call the same thing. Same thing. 25 is running the pitch, throw the slant. Take what the defense is giving you. All right. These are our speed outs. These are from the outside receivers. These are also from the inside receivers, the slots. I refer to my outside receivers as wide outs. I refer to my inside receivers as slots. but we run that route the same way. This right here is against a very well-coached Pinecrest team. Coach Freezy Smalls there does a tremendous job. They had a really talented corner there this year named Zaheem Kelly. He's covering my best receiver here, 19, Jacob Bobless. But guys, Pinecrest checks cover 3 to trips. That corner's responsible for the third. All right. And we know that if we throw hitch, we know that, if there's no threat by 2, which is the running back here, this flat defender is going to buzz out here to the flat. So we knew that they were going to take hitch away. So, we run speed out right here. And that gives you a great angle to take 5 yards and not worried about that buzz player right here picking that thing off. But same footwork by the quarterback, guys. Nothing's changed. Right foot back, open hip ball. Jacob rounds this thing. Bang. We take 6 yards from him. All right. Same thing here. They're still off. We're rounding that thing, getting 6. Bang, catch it, take 6 yards. All right. And like I said, guys, there's a lot of offensive coordinators out there that are not patient enough just to keep taking. And my philosophy is completely opposite. I'll throw 550,000 billion hitches a game if you're going to give it to me. My quarterback loved our staff last year. He's like, Coach, I don't think I've thrown this ball. He's like, I don't think I've thrown the ball this much in 3 years as I have 1 year. And I said, son, well, if they keep giving us hits, we're going to keep throwing it. We're playing Burlington Commons right here. And I'll say this, guys. I tell my kids to cheat. All right. And I don't mean like cheat on a test or cheat reps or things like that. But, like right here, we're in Rio trips. And, normally my receivers alignment should either be on top of the number here or on the number or on the bottom of the number, depending on what route we're running. But I was just, I wanted to see what Cummings would do. And I kept telling Jake right here, I said, Jake, man, keep working yourself inside. And I was like, if that corner right there is going to keep moving inside with you, I was like, keep moving inside. I said, I don't care if you get 2 inches from the tackle's left foot. If he's going to keep moving inside, move inside. Because all he's doing is just opening up this grass right here back to the sideline. And this is something that we took from them the whole night. I mean, great job right here. Right foot back, open hip ball. Jake's going to really round this thing out well. He's going to catch it, take 5 yards before he runs out of bounds. Ball out. Take it. Move the chains. All right. I didn't talk about bubbles so much earlier, but I'll go over this. And I'll say this, guys. Our identity as a football team, we're a spread RPO air raid type team. We want to run option and run it a lot of different ways. But there's 2 different ways to teach a bubble. You can either, rocket step and get lateral to the sideline. A lot of coaches coach it this way so that you got momentum after the catch to get vertical. Other coaches just simply teach it as run to the outside toe of the outside receiver for 3 steps, turn around, back pedal, face the quarterback. That's more for a quarterback who has trouble throwing it. And it's more for a receiver who has trouble taking that rocket step and getting lateral. Coach Giggy at Northmore, man, he's really, taught me how to run bubble well and how to make that thing an easy completion. But right here, this is bubble. Now, guys, if Coach Grandinetti, gives me the opportunity to come back and talk about option football and our scheme, who we read for dive and pitch, that's all great. And, I'm going to show you what we're trying to do here. But I don't want to try to get into that too much as looking at the bubble. But right here, we're playing Western Harnett. What we coached our receivers to do the whole week is, we don't want to block the flat defender. And in this situation right here, we believe that this guy is the flat defender because the safety is back. So what we're going to do is we're going to send our inside receiver right here to go block the safety. We're going to send our outside receiver right here to block the corner. And now we got this flat defender in a bind right here because Western Harnett's not scraping their place out inside linebacker to take quarterback on the option. So if this end squeezes the down block and our quarterback pulls it, all right, now this guy right here, he can't take quarterback on option and cover the bubble, which is going into his responsibility, that curl flat area. And I want you to watch how this turns out. Figure out how to run option. We don't care how you line up against us. You know, unless you line up man coverage, you know, we're going to try to find a way to run option. If you line up man coverage, we're going to run crossing routes and mesh, and we're going to try to pick you until you get out of it so that we can run what we want to run. You know, I've never been a guy that lets the defense dictate to me, you know, what we're going to do. I'm going to dictate to them, and you got to have that kind of confidence every Friday night when you walk out onto a field that you're going to do what you want to do and not let somebody dictate to you. But, you know, right here we're playing Western Harnett. All right, we're reading this in right here for dive. All right, and we're reading the flat defender for pitch. Now, let me say this. If Western Harnett had their linebacker straight to take quarterback on option, we would just simply take this number 3 receiver right here and crack him. We would not block the safety, and we would still put him in a bind. So, you know, this guy right here is responsible for curl flat. He's got to run with the bubble. All right, if our quarterback pull it, we would just let the safety right here try to tackle him in space. All right, and sometimes that's the best matchup you get, and that's the matchup you hope for. But right here, their end is going to give our quarterback a poor read, in my opinion. Coach Bailey said, Coach Cox, man, you could have really handed that thing off and bent it out the backside, and your running back could have hit his head on the goalpost. But, you know, guys, I want my kids to throw. I want them to get the ball out in space and sling that thing around. So right here, we ball down. He squeezes. We pull it. All right, Rory's running out here. He's seeing that this guy is already beat by alignment. He's going to turn and throw this bubble out here right now. Guys, there is nobody right here. You know, as an air raid guy, I'm telling you right now, throw the ball to grass. If you got grass, throw it there. You know, we want to sling that thing out there right now. All right, and we do. All right, sling that thing out there. Go get vertical, Archie Chandler. Go score a touchdown. You know, guys, you got to be confident. You know, and I tell my coaches this, man. There's a big difference between being arrogant and confident. But if you want your kids to believe in what you're trying to coach, man, you got to be confident about it, and you got to show them results. Same thing right here. We're playing Triton. This is a very well-coached football team. Coach Penny and his staff does a tremendous job. All right. But right here, we're reading this 4 technique for dive. We're reading this outside linebacker for pitch. Number 2 right here is going to block the safety. He's going to block the corner. And so what we're saying is they're not going to scrape this place out inside linebacker and take quarterback on option. All right, we're always going to have numbers to run option. All right. So right here, 54 is going to squeeze the down block. Rory's going to pull it. 55 takes quarterback. And guys, I hope you're looking. This thing is shaping up out here. All right. Now, our wide receivers didn't always do a great job of stalk blocking, and that's a point of emphasis for us this year. You know, really mirroring defenders and getting hands on them and all that good stuff. But, guys, this is a touchdown. I mean, we literally threw the ball at the line of scrimmage, and we scored a 50-yard touchdown. It's about getting your kids the ball in space, letting them go be an athlete. Bang, get vertical, Jacob Bobles. Go score a touchdown. All right, right here. Now, guys, you know, this can be quick game as well. All right, we're playing Western Harnett. Again, you know, their identity as a defense is they're a 4-3-quarters team. They're playing quarter, 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 all right? And their outside linebacker here, who is nearly stacked in the box, all right? There's no way that he can get out here and cover his flat area because at the end of the day, if 1 and 2 press vertical, that turns into man for this corner and the safety. All right, now this linebacker's here responsible for the flat. Now, let me also say this, guys, and I got to give credit to Coach Paul Hoggard here. When I was coaching with Coach Ken Neal with Southern Lee, we were running true triple option. And Coach Hoggard told me one day, he said, son, if this linebacker right here gets stacked with his defensive end, you know, they can play the old defense red 2-man rule, which is where defense is basically trying to play games with you, where they can run this end up the field to give your quarterback a give read, and then this linebacker right here is going to insert back into the box. Because my tackle's thinking right here, man, this cat's outside of the box, so I'm going to step over the board lateral, step that right foot, and I'm going to get this place out inside linebacker. All right, we're going to block down. We're going to scoop combo that one, and we're going to out on the backside, and we got to play. So right here, my quarterback, Rory, does a great job of recognizing this. He recognizes that we basically have 3 guys over 2 defenders. He's going to tell our running back right here, get the heck out of the way, man. Just get out of the way. Don't get in my way of throwing it. And we're going to pull it. And we're going to sling this bubble out here right now. All right. Boom. Get out of the way, Tyreek. Get the ball out there. Get vertical. All right, go take 15 yards. All right, now, guys, if you're going to throw hitches in your offense, and I strongly encourage you to, you got to have an answer off a hitch. Eventually, those coaches are over there saying, you got to play the third, you got to play the third, you got to play the third. But after a while, man, that corner right there, he's going to get frustrated and say, man, Union Pines ain't throwing another hitch on me. So he's going to start creeping up. He's going to get out of his third and try to take this hitch away. And, he's going to think that he's got a pick. And, in this situation right here, in this situation right here with our hitch and go, Jake's going to run this thing the same way, except, he's going to show his hands. He's going to immediately outside pivot, try to give himself space between the bottom of the number and sideline. He's going to go score a touchdown. Set down, show, boom, go score. That's the answer to your hitch right there. They want to start taking that away, run hitch and go. Same thing right here against Northmore. We probably threw hitch. We probably threw hitch 5, 6, 7 times. Again, Jake right here does a great job. Rory pumps that thing to make that corner think he's throwing hitch. All right, he's going to outside pivot off the outside foot, get between the bottom of the number and sideline, go score a touchdown. All right, y'all see all those fans over there screaming? All right, that's what's going to happen. All right, make football an exciting brand, man. Make football so exciting that kids look forward to coming to practice every day, and make them look forward to, man, when Coach Cox calls that slant bubble, man, and that outside linebacker runs the bubble, man, I'm going to catch that thing, and I'm going to show how good of an athlete I am. And, guys, that's what I really believe in. I hope that nobody ever takes me as an arrogant coach or anything like that. But, man, I try every day when I go out there to practice, man, to coach with confidence, because if you're confident as a football coach, you're going to make your players confident. I'll say this. I think it made all the difference this year in the history-making season we had at Union Pines, is that our kids really play with some confidence. And, more than anything, they learn not to give up, to never quit. And even when things don't look the best, man, just live for the next play, for the next situation, for the next moment. And, I think that teaches us something about life as well. Coach Grandinetti, thank you for having me. Guys, if you want this PowerPoint presentation or you want this film, please email me at lrcox@ncmcs.org. And I'll say that again. That is lrcox@ncmcs.org. If you guys think that it would be easier to text me, my phone number is 919-498-5089. And I'll say that once again, that is 919-498-5089. And guys, I'm willing to share anything with you. Now, obviously, I'm not going to share a whole lot with teams that I got to compete against, because if they learn my rules, they can use those against me. But if you're somebody that's in Georgia, South Carolina, or you're in a 1A, 2A, or 4A conference, and I ain't really got to worry about playing you, guys, I don't mind sitting down any day and just sharing everything with you, because my philosophy behind that is, like I said, guys, and I'm not kidding when I say this, I was a 21-year-old football coach who didn't know a whole lot, and I didn't even know what a 3 technique was. And 8 years later, because I've been around a bunch of great coaches and I've had a lot of people willing to teach me, I am where I am today. And that's not to say that I'm a great football coach now, because in my mind, I want to make every day a masterpiece, and I want to find a way to get better every day. But if I can do anything to help you get better and help you accomplish your dreams and to help you get where you want to be in your career, it would certainly be a great opportunity and a blessing for me to help you do that. Coach, thank you so much, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And once again, guys, if you guys have any questions for Coach, man, just reach out to him. I also tagged him in a couple things, so you could always just follow him on his Twitter as well and just reach out with any questions. But I think we're good. We'll wrap this session up. That does it for Thursday. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Just got a shorter day tomorrow. Got to get some some things done in the afternoon. But we'll still have a few sessions in the morning into the afternoon, and we'll wrap this week up, man. So appreciate all the coaches who came in and spent some time with us, man. Once again, Coach Cox, man, appreciate you.
Coach, thank you for everything you're doing, man. I can never thank you enough for what you're doing, and it's been an incredible month learning all the football that's been presented.
Yes, sir. That has definitely been a lot of fun.